to what, if they see anything, if they hear anything, that type of stuff. Well, then that actually contradicts what people are saying. They don't believe in the people that are watching the show, the viewers. They don't believe. Well, of course they do. Otherwise, why on earth would they be texting in or whatever? It's dragging the people into this absolute rubbish. Yeah. But there are other subjects, isn't there?
Yeah,
there are other things which are rubbish, aren't there?
Yeah.
I know full well that the pair of you have got a bit of...
One of our main problems, if you like, at the minute, is the whole Indigo Child thing that's going on. There seems to have been a boom in this in the last couple of years.
Everyone's an expert.
We'll have to stop you with Indigo, because what does it mean? I mean, it's Indigo,
Kendra,
it's Star Children...
Yeah.
I'll let you explain.
Basically, Indigo started, or not necessarily the term, but the possibility of it, in 1982 by a book written by Nancy Tapp. Now, she was a self-proclaimed psychic, so let's put that on one stage of this. So you've got this psychic who's basically claiming that from what she could see from the late 60s to early 70s, she's seeing these kids or these people growing up supposedly with like an indigo-type aura or a purplish-type aura.
Right.
Now, moving on from that, then there was another book basically in 1998. And this was by Jan Tober and Lee Carroll. Now, what was quite interesting with this is that it wasn't what they were saying. It actually wasn't them who was getting directly the messages. They were actually channeling this being, this angelic being, Cryon, yeah?
Right.
And apparently they're the ones who basically, they put in this book about the Indigo Children, or understanding Indigo Children. And it's... it seems crazy to me. You've got basically a psychic, self-proclaimed psychic, and you've got these other two who are supposedly channeling this being, and they've basically set up this, they'll triggered this whole effect of Indigo Children.
From an outsider, from a simpleton's point of view, which I play very, very well, Indigo Children are called that because special pink children have an aura of a certain colour, indigo.
And supposedly it's to do with the dates they were born. And what's very much happening is certain children are supposedly more likely to be indigo, and we'll talk a bit more about that in a moment to do with health things. And parents are believing this and not looking into the social aspects of what was around at the time.
Isn't there some alien link to Indigo Children?
The Star Children thing going on.
So there's a difference between Star Children and... Oh, okay.
No, this is the whole thing. This is a bugbear of ours as well. There's numerous sites out there, numerous people, so everyone's an expert. I mean, prior basically to obviously the Lee Carroll thing and obviously a 1982 book by Anne Tapp, it's no one had actually heard of them. Yet just after this, all of a sudden, it's like, let's go for it. Everyone is suddenly an expert. All these books are coming out. Yet prior to this, the same authors were bringing out different books on psychic phenomena, supernatural, that type of stuff. Nothing was mentioned about indigos. But it's kind of, let's jump on the bandwagon. And it's just ridiculous, because our main thing is, we have respect, haven't we, for anyone. If you're an adult, if they want it, they can believe in what they want. As long as it's not hurting anyone else, just let them get on with it. Do you know what I mean? If they want to think of God, Allah, Allah, it doesn't matter, you know? But if at the end of the day, what they're then doing is actually transferring their beliefs, forcing, in fact, and affecting kids' lives, children's lives, then we have huge issues with that. And I think anyone should have an issue with that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Indigo is people are totally buying into this. Yeah. People are totally buying in. It's a complete pseudoscience for a start. These are people that put things up, use technical, scientific jargon, usually wrongly, to make themselves sound impressive. There's no direct figures, no direct stats, and yet they will put up data.
And all the scientific research that's supposedly been done.
There's no scientific research shown with any proper controls or scientific methodology. It's all what these people, and people are buying in. And one of our main problems is the health side, and the reason we think a lot of people are buying in, this is no disrespect to the people who do. A lot of people are saying that indigo children, children with ADHD and autism, are actually indigo children. Now, the reason I personally think a lot of parents will buy into this is, when you have a child with ADHD or autism, your natural reaction is to say, why is this happening to me? Is it something I've done? Why has it happened? So when somebody comes along and says, oh no, your child isn't autistic, they're an indigo, you want to believe. I mean, I've got a story here about a doctor, and I'm just looking at the TV to check, Dr. Manji Samantha Loughton, just to make sure I get her name out there and completely correct. She was actually at a party, and she heard a mother talking about her child. And she went over to the mother, who she didn't know, and said, this mother was saying, my child has got behavioural problems, he's this, they think he's... And she said, your child isn't ADHD, your child is an indigo child. She'd never met this child. She'd never...